Hello and welcome back to the Three Pillars Podcast. I'm your host, Chase Tobin, aka Tobinator the Motivator. The Three Pillars Podcast is that podcast that focuses on those three pillars of fitness: spiritual, mental, and physical fitness to help us grow closer to the Lord on this journey that we call life. Guys, welcome back to the Three Pillars Podcast. I appreciate you joining me on this series on leadership. Today, we're going to be jumping into the third leadership principle: know your Marines and look out for their welfare. That is the essence of what we're going to get into today. If you haven't watched any of the episodes up until this point, go back and check the introduction and watch it all the way to this point, or dive right in and we'll just learn something new every day, right? That's my pledge to you, is to kind of give you this season of the podcast is my magnum opus, my masterclass on leadership. That's what I'd like to give to the world because the world needs more leaders. So thank you for your support. If you've liked this content so far, please share it with the world. Make sure you check out the Three Pillars Podcast website, threepillarspodcast.com. It will take you to all things. That's like your hub to find me on all the socials out there. All that being said, we're going to dive right in today to get into this leadership principle and then kick you guys out for a fantastic weekend. Sound good? All right. Let's start with a quick word of prayer and then we'll dive right in. Father God, thank you so much for your love, your guidance, and your discipline that you give us every single day. You instill within us fortitude, you instill within us mental clarity and physical strength if we will just pick it up and use it. Lord, thank you for your overarching grace that surpasses anything that we do on this earth. Lord, I ask that you be with anybody today. Just help them find you through their daily interactions and help them show you to others through their daily interactions. Help us to understand those around us and those under our charge so that we can be the best leaders we can develop them to greater leaders than ourselves one day. Lord, I ask that you be with me today. Give me the words to say. Give anybody tuning into this the eyes to see, ears to hear, and hearts to receive anything that grows them closer to you. In the holy name of Jesus, amen. All right, third leadership principle. Know your Marines and look out for their welfare. Love the Marines under my charge. If I don't actually care about them, right, I really don't have any business leading them. Why would you want to be in a position of leadership if you didn't care about the people underneath you? It's not a slogan, this leadership principle, look out for their welfare. It's not coddling them. It's making sure that they are effective to get the mission done. When you're going through your checks as a squad leader, they're expecting you to check, their gear and make sure everything's squared away in uniform, all that stuff. But you should be doing more than that, especially if you're getting ready to step out on an operation. Check their eyes. See if they're glazed over, if they're scared, if they got something going on before you're going on deployment, before you do anything. And this is civilian world too. Check your guys and make sure that they're mentally there too. Because you can tell when you look at people, very quickly, is something wrong? Something wrong at home? Is your family life okay? Is your spiritual life okay? Are you mentally there? Are your finances? All these things that come into play when it comes to the welfare of those under your charge. If you can take care of that on the front end, it makes you more effective in the actual conduct of your operation. But that means you have to develop a relationship. Doesn't mean you have to fraternize with those underneath your charge, but you need to know enough about them to understand sort of their daily operations and the problems that they have. Especially if you are a squad leader or a platoon commander or something like that, or in the corporate world, if you are the manager over your branch, or if you are wherever you are, it doesn't matter if you're the manager or not. You just need to be able to take care of those who are underneath or beside you and understand how uh, how they're how the stressors of the daily world can affect their performance. Okay. The Marine Corps breaks this down into about 5 different points. Just know your Marines and look out for their welfare. And we're going to go into each one of these in depth, but the 5 of them are as follows. Number 1, put your Marines' welfare before your own, correct grievances and remove discontent. Number 2, see the members of your unit and let them see you, be approachable. Number 3, help your Marines get needed support from available personal services. Number 4, determine your unit's mental attitude. Keep in touch with their thoughts. 5, encourage individual development. It was 6, my bad. Provide sufficient recreational time and insist on participation. So give them time to play, as it were. That's part of the welfare. And so this episode, obviously, this is the introduction. I'm going to unpack each one of these as it breaks down to doctrine and how you can apply that to the civilian world too. And then we'll get into how, physical fitness, mental fitness, and our spirituality through a Christian worldview will help enhance this and make you a better leader all around. All right. Principle is mission critical because the true, welfare, it's not pampering your guys, it's not coddling them, it's not doing everything for, hey, are you okay? Like, I'll take care. No, it's combat power. The Marine under your charge trusts you as a leader. He gets enough rest to think clearly, eats enough, trains enough to move fast under duress. He knows that you've got his back. He knows that his family's taken care of while he's going to be gone for 7 months. He's going to fight harder. He's going to fight longer for you as the leader and the mission at hand. Okay. This is not a sentimental principle. It's strategic, it's ethical, and it's spiritual. Strategically, it reduces preventable mistakes and increases the initiative of the individual Marine. Ethically, it honors the imago Dei, the image of Christ, right? In every Marine that you serve, you want to be that image. You're not elevating yourself to deification by any means, but you want to be that shining example for them to emulate and for them to know that, wow, this guy's got it together. He's going to take care of me. Spiritually, it imitates the good shepherd. You are that leader. You try to be the good shepherd for your little flock, right? You know each of your guys by name. You know their issues, and you know that you're going to look out for that one who goes wandering off, right? Anything less than that type of care as a leader, it's a dereliction of duty. Okay. So if we're going to dive into the first point, put your Marines' welfare before your own and correct the grievances and remove discontent. Marine doctrine leads with action. When you put your own welfare before your own and you correct the grievances, that means no matter where you're at, if you're in a chow line, if you're on your rack, the last water bottle or canteen that's passed out, the last word in the after action report, all of those belong to your Marines first. Okay. We've said it before, leaders eat last. That's not just some motivational slogan that we came up with. It's a logistical theory. It's really more like theology, if you really get down to it. When your Marines see you yield your comfort, especially if nobody's watching, that helps them decrease their anxiety and makes their initiative go up, because they're like, they might be like struggling too, but if they see you struggling, but you still relinquish something that's like a comfort. You say, I'm really, really thirsty, but I know this guy is too. I'm going to go ahead and give him the last drop, and I'll catch it on the next resupply or whatever. They see things like that. They're like, that's just one less stressor in their body. You as a leader have to be able to, you have done all these principles and these leadership traits to inoculate yourself to the stress. Your junior has not got that experience yet. So you have to, but it's because you have prepped yourself to that point. They might be brand new. They haven't had enough time. You can't necessarily always throw them right into the fire. There is, trial by fire is a real thing, but if you want to have them trust into you, they see you still maintaining your bearing, your posture, your poise, all this stuff under duress. It's going to take that stress off of them. Okay, I'm really, really thirsty. Now I'm not thirsty anymore. I can keep performing. But, Sergeant over there, I know he's probably got the same thing going on, but he's tough. They see you now through a different lens. Like, wow, he really is like tough. He never sleeps. He's always there. He's doing stuff. Meanwhile, you have put yourself through the ringer and have trained yourself to that and conditioned yourself to that. It's going to make them want to do that later on as well. So how do you put this into practice? Same thing, visible sacrifice, the water bottle example. Even if you give your camel pack or you give your last canteen that you had saved up because you remember to pack one extra thing of water, make sure that somebody sees it, not just to perform, but just kind of to catechize things. It's like, this is how we do things. Hey, I've got one extra water bottle. Maybe you guys, standard SOP, have one extra canteen at the front end just in case resupply doesn't get here. Now we're all taken care of. Get it? Oh, that's how it works. It's not to show, oh, yeah, I'm just this, I'm not Xerxes from 300. I'm just, I'm kind, right? No, I'm making sure that you guys know that this is how we operate. I know the gear list said bring this amount of water, but we're going to bring one extra canteen, something like that. Another thing you do is what we call grievance triage. Track your Marines grievance category. Think about things like pay issues, roommate conflicts that are going on, tasking that was unfair, gear that's broken. if you can try to fix one thing fast after every, grieving, if they're going to air their grievances, you can get rid of one thing fast, even if it's a partial fix. That speed in which you can get something fixed equates to respect given. It's going to it's going to show them that, okay, they've got a problem. You're going to fix it as quickly as you can without giving within reason, right? I've got my pack broke, and not because I threw it down and was derelict in taking care of it, but as I'm on a rock, the strap snapped, and now I'm walking like a hunchback trying to carry this thing across, however, whatever it is. We need to get you a new one. So if you can figure out, hey, got it covered, you do your little back channel stuff. What do you have to do? Get down the SIF, get a pack swapped out. That quick, that Marine's going to say he took care of this. Or in the civilian world, one of your guys said, hey, I just noticed that my paycheck was off. What's going on with this? You get to looking at it and you find whatever the glitch was and you get it fixed and get them paid like as quickly as possible. They're going to say, okay, this guy's really is taking care of me. All of this is from a leadership perspective, helps build that respect and confidence in you as a leader. That again, now they can, instead of this little thing that they have to focus on, you want them to get your tasks done for the commander's intent, right? But if they no longer have to worry about this little grievance, they can get back to focusing on the mission. So that's a lot of what leadership is getting them back on track to the mission by taking away all these other little things that could distract them from getting the job done. And then finally, you can do what we call a fairness audit. There's going to be duties all over the place that are just undesirable. Nobody wants to go actually stand a duty for 24 hours, right? Get that to everybody in the squad. Don't just have that one guy always on duty because you don't like him. Rotate that through. Publish criteria if there's awards or schools that people can go to. Explain why decisions that you have landed where they did. If there is discontent in your unit, it hates daylight. Doesn't like when you shine light upon it. If there's an issue between people, resolve it right now. Back when I was in my fraternity in college, we would have issues. If there was an issue that popped up back when I was the president, we would legitimately square up in a sand pit. I would take people, we had a volleyball pit in the backyard. And if some people had issues with each other after the chapter meeting, all right, guys, we're going right out back and you guys are going to settle it in the sand pit. I don't care how you do it. You're going to do it. And a lot of times they'd get in the sand pit and, barefooted, sitting there, getting ready to like scrap. And they'd be like, I really don't want to do this because I'm really not trying to fight. I'm just mad at you. Sometimes they would scrap around for a little bit. We'd break them up and everybody'd be fine. We'd go back and settle it. Everybody's, once tempers come down. But sometimes just being there, confronting face to face and this kind of primal thing makes people, wow, let's just talk it real quick. And maybe there's some yelling, maybe there's some altercations or whatever. I'm going to let you guys go at it. It's fine. Air it out, because once you shine a light on it, you can put a little magnifying glass on it. It might actually be nothing once you get down to the end of the day. So if we're going to look at this from a Christian worldview, Philippians 2 calls us to not only look at your own interests, but also into the interests of others. Leadership is cruciform. Costly love poured out for actual people, not abstract, troops. Okay, they're not just numbers on a list. The cross also kills performative sacrifice. If I serve to be seen, I've already been paid in full. Fitness and fortitude. If I cannot put others first, then I'm always running on fumes, right? If I can't put others first because I am literally so weak and tired, it's not going to happen like that. You have to get a strong body that's conditioned to the stress, so that way you can give away that comfort that we like so much without collapsing into nothingness or being a bitter person. Okay. So that is why you must always have your fitness level at a high standard so you can serve others even when times get tough. Okay. Second point, see the members of your unit, let them see you. You have to be approachable. Doctrine doesn't say just send emails to people all the time. It says see your Marines and let them see you. So each Marine knows you and believes you know them. Be approachable. Your presence shuts down rumors, accelerates decisions, and it humanizes your rank. Okay. If you are a leader who sits behind your keyboard and just sends text messages and sends emails and never actually gets in front of the people that you're leading, they're going to think you don't exist. Who is this like random person sending me emails? I don't know anything about them. But if you are there, you're always there on time. You're always there first. The way I used to do it, I knew what time I was going to be there. I wanted my team leaders to make sure that my guys were there, like, a couple minutes before me, I'd get there as soon as I show up. I can go down my line, check on everybody real quick before we get information and carry on with the day. But I want them all there before me, because if I'm going to be here at this time, that means I expect you to be there early, right? I get there, and that gives me time to go down the line, check my team leaders. You guys good? Everybody good? Thumbs up. Smith, you good? Johnson, you good? All the way down the line, and then go to the individual Marines. Hey, everything good with you guys? You guys got anything for me? Obviously my team leaders have told me, but there's something that they forgot, and I say, okay, cool. We'll get to your team leader, run it to me. We'll get it handled. Everybody good? We're going to have a good day of PT. Rah, let's go. And that's it. But you have to be seen. You have to be approachable. They they can't think of you as this person that is so like high and out of reach that they can't even get a word in with you if they need to. Obviously, there's chains of command and things like that. But even through the team leaders, they have to know that you're there to take care of them. Okay. When you are like when I was in the Corps, we had post standing operations. I did a lot of guard force work on different sensitive sites and things like that. Part of my job as the sergeant of the guard was to go out randomly and just check on the different posts and everything like that. Not walking out with an entourage, not walking out with, a bunch of people that could be seen. I would just show up on somebody's post sometimes, A, to make sure they're not sleeping, but B, to check on them. Hey, sit there with them. If you're a Marine on post and you're standing out staring at nothing for 8 hours, your mind goes all over the place. You're trying to stay mission focused. That's why the corporal of the guard checks on everybody. Sergeant of the guard checks on the corporal of the guard and checks on everybody individually too, because that's what leaders do. You're always checking, how's your body? How's your home? Is there something I can remove from your thought process, that's something that's on your mind? Can I take care of that right now? And if they say, I really have to pee. So, all right, hey, I will stand your post for you and you go relieve yourself. How's that sound? Anything like that. Like whatever you got to do to keep them mission focused in that moment. Or if there's something that, I really, it's my daughter's birthday today, I'm in the field or I'm on post or whatever, and I would like to tell her happy birthday, and I don't know how I'm going to do that. All right. Well, if it is possible, depending on where you're at and things like that, to be able to let them make a phone call or FaceTime or something to that effect. And if you can do it that day or as soon as you're able to do that, allow that to happen, because you may not be close by, right? I get all these things, but see what you can do to take care of them now. Because if you can get it done, again, problem to speed to solving that problem builds respect and credibility. You have an open door policy. Yes, expect that if you do have an open door policy, you're going to get probably bad news from time to time. Nobody gets punished for telling the truth. If somebody comes in, there's an issue, a legitimate issue, talk through it. If there's a plan that you've got that is literally it's unworkable, and your corporal, your team leaders come through you and they say, okay, sorry, I don't think this is the way to do it. Okay, let's talk about it. War game it, figure out what's going on, and then say, you know what? That is a much better idea. And then when we get into the brief, hey, this is how we're executing this plan. Corporal so and so had a thought. We're going to give it a shot because that makes sense. Compared to, does that sound good? Okay, Roger that. You accept that it's not saying that your plan was bad. It was probably going to work at some point, but there's something a little outside the box, because that's the beauty of the Marine Corps. You got people from all walks of life, all different types of experiences and backgrounds that all come together with different ideas and things like that. You might have somebody who spent his whole life hunting in the woods, and you're going on a patrol through the woods, and you've got this route you want to take, but he's like, man, what if we did this route instead? And it cuts us time, cuts us elevation changes, and we get there quicker and less smoked. Hey, I'm good with that. Let's go. Rely on that experience. Don't just say this is my way, the highway. Be willing to be flexible, especially with that open door policy. Eye contact, relaxed shoulders, your posture, all that says I have time for you. Being physically fit obviously helps. If you are physically at ease, it makes you look emotionally available. And that's what we want to be as leaders, is available to our Marines. If you have the opportunity if you're in the corporate world, say you're in sales or manufacturing, something like that, if you get a chance to go down and talk to people on the shop floor, or if you only, as opposed to only seeing people on like Christmas holidays and things like that, it just helps you to be seen. If you can get in and say, like the other job I used to work at before the one I'm at now, I'd like to go and see how some of our guard booths were manufactured so I could speak articulately to my customers about the intricate detail and the welds and everything like that goes into it. So I'm talking to the shop guys. They're just building the stuff that I help sell. But hey, guys, I really appreciate the work that you all are doing. I know that when you guys aren't busy, then we're not making money. So if you guys are busy, you're welcome. It's my job to come in here and make sure that this shop is always full of stuff to do. Thank you for your hard work and us getting these things out the door on time. That kind of stuff. Getting in front of people that aren't necessarily in your job description, but still building that unit cohesion all the way from the top down, bottom up, side to side, right? From a Christian worldview, the incarnation is leadership, presence with the infinite, right? God is with us. If I love my people, I show up in their spaces and speak their language. That is what the intent is. Your presence lowers the fear. You're being there. And obviously, the fear is the enemy of initiative. So being around them puts everybody at ease because you are supposed to be the subject matter expert in this field. If there's a question, somebody's got something, they know that, okay, I know I could do this, but if something is kind of off, Sergeant's right there. He's going to help me get through this, through my team leaders and things like that. That your presence is the present, right? Third point, to help your Marines get needed support from available personal services. Marine guidance is explicit in this doctrine. You need to help them get squared away if something's going on. That includes medical, legal, your chaplain, family readiness, education, financial, counseling, and behavioral health. All these things. Your job is to connect them to those resources, not just to diagnose it or to minimize it, right? So that being said, you have to keep a chart or keep some sort of resource map to see where guys are on their readiness scale. Do they need to go see the chaplain? Do they need to go to medical? Do they need to go to legal? Any of these things is if they're getting ready to get out, is there a VA point of contact? Update it quarterly and train your NCOs to use this chart to see where everybody is. How is everybody on dental? Everybody's in the black. We got to get them over to the green. Whatever it's got to be. Help them. Again, your job is not to diagnose this stuff. If you can identify it, okay, hey, something is wrong mentally with this person. Let's get them to behavioral health. So this guy's got family issues, and whatever it is, get them to the family readiness person, or get them into some type of counseling if they need to. Because again, we want to be able to get all this squared away so we can get them back to the mission at hand. Because if you get overseas and they've still got this stuff going on, it's going to be a lot harder to. That's just one less. That's one more weight dragging the whole team down. This way, you have to take care of those under your charge. Again, civilian world is the same way. If there's issues that you see with people, you have to address that and take care of it if you can. But the flip side of that, you are also not a mind reader. So they need to be, if you've established this rapport and things, that they should be able to come to you with this information that you can fix it. Because if everybody's just running around all hunky-dory and everything's good, you just assume that it's good. But if you are as a leader, you need to be able to step into that role, read your Marines. Again, we're talking about looking at their eyes earlier on, and figure out what is going on. At least say, hey, something's off with this guy. Bring him to the side, bring him with their team leader. Yo, Smith, what's happening? And then he can break it down because he may not do it in front of the whole group. Do what a warm handoff. If you know something's going on, either through you or through your team leader, and team leaders got a lot of stuff going on. Look, I will take him personally to the chaplain or to medical or whatever. Your feet kind of sanctify the path, right? You are the one that's in charge. You're taking this younger Marine or young person to the help that they need personally. That shows them that you care. Obviously, you can task their team leaders and stuff like that with it, but if you have already got them all tasked out for things, this is your wheelhouse. They are doing your day-to-day operation stuff. You're doing CEO stuff. Okay, now I can take care of this person because I know that my teams are working where they need to go. It shows the team leaders when they get to be into a squad leader position that, or your younger officers into a platoon commander position or a platoon or a company commander position. I can handle this stuff because everything else is running as I've delegated properly. And then obviously privacy is a huge thing. Whatever is going on, it's between you and them. If it's something that they have shared with you, come back to, hey, did you get that squared away? Is there anything that is left on, or are there any loose ends that we need to address later? What are the next steps? From a Christian worldview, James tells the church to visit the afflicted and care for orphans. That's what we're called to do. In a military context, it means I don't hide behind the mission to avoid the ministry of logistics. Okay, budgets, flights, forms, phone calls, all that helps keep a family afloat. That's what you have to do, is to take care of these families. Okay. From a fitness perspective, these cases take time and emotional bandwidth. Your training, your sleep, your prayer, all these things help expand that tank and give you more mileage in this Cadillac, right? A physically depleted leader, he becomes a bureaucrat. We don't want that. But a fit leader becomes a shepherd who can keep walking at the pace even while the hurting's coming, right? Next point. Determine your unit's mental attitude, and you got to keep in touch with their thoughts. Marine doctrine commands your climate awareness. It's not a mystery. It's observable, it's measurable, and it's adjustable. Really, literally, I talked about it earlier, those pulse checks. Every time you get in front of them at a formation, how are we doing? It could be 10 seconds per Marine, okay? See what they got going on. Patterns, not isolated dots. That's what we're looking for. These patterns drive action. Check in with him every single day. Okay, I got this, and this going on. He's good, he's good, he's good. He's not good today. What's up? Get to the bottom of it. Get with your NCOs, your team leaders. If in your corporate world, get with your other managers or department heads and figure out, hey, you guys are with them more than I am individually. What's going on? And without retribution, anything like that, let's figure out what's happening. You're real pissed off at this guy for whatever reason. Let's handle that man to man. Let's fix it now. Let's study one that we can get to later on and explain something that happened, how you got through this particular challenge, so that we can all have that tool for our toolbox later. And then within all this stuff, you're going to intercept any type of rumors. Okay. If there's a rumor, address it fast, debunk it as quickly as possible, especially if there's a truth that we just don't know what's going on yet. Hey, all these rumors and things like that, we're going to squash it right now because we need to get the facts first, and then we'll carry on. Oh, did you guys hear we're going to be deploying, blah, 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 because there's such going on in the world? And you're like, I haven't heard that at all, and I'm the guy at the top. Let's stop that right now. Where did you hear that? Oh, well, I don't want to say so. All right, well, then it's probably not true. And if it turns out it is later, awesome. But we're going to go get some. But right now, I don't want everybody getting all revved up when they don't need to be. When we got other tasks at hand. I will figure this out. I'll go straight to the horse's mouth. The company commander. Hey, something's going around saying we're deploying. What's happening right now? Well, Sergeant, this is a need to know basis. Or, hey, that's not accurate at all. No, who's telling you this? Then you go back to your guys. No, CO said no. All right, so squash that stuff right off the bat. And again, look at your sick call trends, look at your NJPs, look at your maintenance issues, look at your reenlistment requests. Try to figure out to help with retention and all these things as a leader, because obviously you want to leave places better than you found it as a leader, but you also want to make sure that all these things are in order. Same thing in the corporate world, just with your people, weekly call for a little bit. It's going to help get everybody on the same page. Weekly meetings, things like that's why we have them. Nobody likes meetings, but sometimes you have to have it just so you can you got to come together from time to time, especially if you got remote people that work. Bring them into the office and everybody talk about what's on the brain. That helps keep everybody, again, on that same page. Proverbs tells us, know the condition of your flocks. You as that shepherd have to count the sheep, check their hooves, listen for their coughs, all these things, just like a human, check out their workload. Look for sarcasm and cynicism. And make sure you always have accountability of them. Say very similar practices, being a shepherd and being a leader. Your mental fortitude, obviously, sometimes that constructive criticism is going to sting a little bit, but understand that this is your role as a leader. People are going to always look at you and scrutinize you, and that's part of it because that helps you stay accountable. Okay. You're not looking for a popularity contest, but you are looking to make clear, effective decisions that affect the unit in a positive direction. 5, encourage individual development. Specifically stated in these points, you want to make sure that they get the schools, they get certifications, they have the PMEs, they have assignments that they can stretch out and give them responsibility. And they're just simple reading tasks. It means you have to coach their character, not just competence in a job. Okay, I want you to do this and do it well, but I want you to do it with character in class. If I invest in develop. If I send a Marine to a school, I'm not losing a Marine. Okay, I'm multiplying my capability as a leader because now they have something that the unit didn't have before. I'm sending them to Hearstmaster's course. I'm sending them to embarkation course. I'm sending them to a raid leader course. I'm sending them to some corporate trade show, expo, conference to help them gain tools for sales, for product development, for business development, for whatever, manufacturing, whatever it is, to make them better at their job. So when they come back, now the unit's got more knowledge. Because I obviously can't send everybody, but if I can send somebody to come back and help teach us and trickle down, everybody can get a little bit of that that school by them coming back. Because when they come back, that's what they're going to do. Teach it. Always have an individual development plan. So, hey, here's this Marine. This is why individual counselings are good, because you can go to each individual Marine and outline their efforts and help figure it out, through faith, family, and fitness, 3 pillars, spiritual, mental, physical. How are you going to guide them, get them to the next level? Not push them through, but help them earn that next rank, but help them develop a roadmap to do that. Give each of your Marines deliberate reps. Help them be, hey, you're squad leader for the day. Run us through this. You're the team leader for the day. Help us do this after action. Like these little tasks that way, again, when time permits, because you can't always put, hey, you're branded to the unit. You're the squad leader today. No. As they get to the point where they are going to be a potential team leader or a squad leader or a platoon sergeant at one point, they used to put me all the time in as a platoon sergeant. So our platoon sergeant, platoon commander could go out and do other things, and I would run the squad and the whole platoon. And everybody bumped up, a billet for the day to go handle stuff. I think I was a first sergeant one time, just kind of making stuff happen. It was one of those, like, everything was pretty much squared away, but I was there just in case, basically answer the phone and go make sure everybody's good, call a formation, dismiss people. It was neat. But it gives you the idea of what you can expect when you get into that position. Have a cadence for their education. Hey, you're going to have this Marinette course done by this point. If you guys are working on college, I want to track it. Make sure you're getting all your homework done, because somebody's going to take college classes. You need to kind of be their mom and dad, their mommy and their daddy, and make sure that they're getting their homework done. Hey, you guys are going to read one book per month or one book per quarter, whatever. Even if it's, we don't have to read the same book, but I want you to at least take time, 10 minutes every day or whatever, 15 minutes every day to read, because that's what you need to do. So we're not dumb. People already think we're dumb because Marines. What is the acronym? Marine stands for muscles are required, intelligence not expected. Let's break that stigma right now. Make sure that they know we know how to read more than just pop up picture books. All right. Even though those are my favorite. When somebody does succeed and do something well, give them credit. Even if it's on your own, just platoon formation. Hey, so and so finished this particular school. We're glad to have them back, and clap it up for them. Make sure that the unit hears the success of people, so they want to strive to be that, have that recognition, and have those credentials as well. If we look at Jesus, he developed people in concentric circles and crowds, the 12, the 3, whoever. Development is discipleship, coming alongside, naming the gifts and talents, people giving assignments, giving responsibility, and staying present with them, because they're going to stumble. But you're there to help. Hey, grab them by their little strap on the back of their flight, pick them back up and keep going. Because that's what Jesus does with us every single day. We're going to stumble and fall, but guess what? He picks us up out of the dirt and helps us to carry on. That's what you need to do. You need to emulate here on earth for the people under your charge. And the last one, provide sufficient recreational time and insist on participation. This is sort of a surprise for leaders if you're very performance based. Recreation is required by doctrine, and leadership has to insist on it. Not because we're fragile, but because we are human. Recreation reconsolidates learning, repairs relationships, and resets your stress chemistry. Marines who never play, they break. But if they do play a little bit, they're going to bounce. They'll be resilient. Schedule those unit sporting events. And a lot of times, Marines, we like to fight, so get them together and do a big map together. Do some kind of like warrior clash or whatever you want to call it. Grilling together, movie tents, whatever it is. And it's mandatory, because we want everybody to be part of their readiness, right? If you guys are together, you're together. Put your phones away, eyes are up, really be present and intentional with each other. And again, this is not just a mandatory fun day. This is part of it, because you want to do something that's going to be fun, constructive, and get everybody together. You as a leader, you're not, everybody wants to win, right? But you're playing to connect to each other. Okay, if you're playing basketball or wrestling or throwing a flag football or whatever your particular sport is. I used to play volleyball a lot. We had a sand pit outside the barracks, and we'd go play volleyball. And the whole group of guys together on a weekend, chopping it up, playing, doing the whole Top Gun thing. That's real. We did it. That's how you bring people together. And from a Christian perspective, if you can get people together on a Sunday and really get them into the pew, that's a move, because that's a slow cadence and helps them really reflect on the whole week. And even at boot camp, when you had the opportunity to go to church on Sunday, it was a time to just sit down. They did that for a reason, not because anybody's pushing religion down your throat, but everybody's got their beliefs, and they have an opportunity for you to go to a service, pray, worship, get filled up spiritually, so you can go back and attack the next week. I appreciated that very much, and I know that there was a reason behind it. Okay, so so this principle, we've talked about what it is. Let's talk about really quick what it is not. We're putting guardrails on when we do this. This principle is not coddling. You take legitimate burdens from your Marines so they can shoulder legitimate ones. You take away the distractions so they can actually focus on things that are really going to cause stress in their body, especially in an operational setting. This principle is not favoritism, okay? Welfare leadership is impartial. It's a transparent process. It rotates to tough tasks, and it allows equal access to opportunities and classes and courses, based upon merit. If you put in the work, you're going to get rewarded for it, okay? This principle is not abdication. You still confront laziness and misconduct in your unit. The welfare of the unit sometimes requires discipline. That's what you have to do on an individual level. But it's not just, okay, I'm going to look out for them, make sure that they're always happy. Well, if they're always happy and they're running all over you because you're not instilling any type of justice, you're not putting any type of real leadership in their bodies, that's dereliction of duty, guys. Let's not do that. So a quick checklist you can go through to help you check their welfare. And again, this is a quick little thing you can reflect on every morning, every evening, every once a week, whatever it is your cadence as a leader. But think about these 7 P's, okay? Presence, provision, pastoral care, perspective, play, progress, and prayer, okay? Go through them real quick. Presence, did I physically go where my Marines are today? Did they see me? Not just to be seen, but so I was there in it with them. Provision, did I remove one tangible friction from their gear, their schedule, their administration stuff, whatever? Did I provide for them? Pastoral care, did I ask about their body, their home, and their soul? And did I take action on the one that was in need? 4, did I explain the why behind the hard order? Why do we have to walk 15 miles today? Well, because they told us to. No, because we have to get to this objective, because that's going to put us closer to completing the mission. There you go. 5, play. Did I schedule or protect a moment of rest or laughter this week? Was I able to get that, bring the humanity back to this organization? 6, progress. Did I advance one Marine's development plan today? And then 7, did I hold my people before God by name? Okay. Did you take time to pray for your guys every day, every week, whatever your cadence is? That's a good checklist to go through. I like that a lot. This principle, it literally blooms under a Christian worldview because it is covenantal. I am responsible for people because they bear the image of God and because I've been trusted with authority for their good. Jesus said leaders in his kingdom would not lord over others, but would serve. That's Mark 10:42-45. Whether it's in a field or in your office, it means that I go first into hardships and last into comfort. It means that I speak blessing in a world of sarcasm. I tell the truth when their culture is just spinning things all over the place. And I lay down my rights when others require it. I lay down my own comfort when they need it most. If you look at the cross, it gives welfare leadership its steel, even though it's made of wood, it gives it steel. Love is not sentiment, it's sacrifice. When the resources are light and timelines are cruel and tempers are hot, you remember the one who kept faith under the heaviest load imaginable. And that vision keeps my hands steady and my heart soft for the guys under my charge. So if we bring it all together, if we're looking at a leader's covenant, I will know my Marines by name, their story, and their aspiration. I will put their welfare before my own and fix what I can, and I'll fix it fast. I will be seen and approachable every day and in all weather. I will connect them to services that they need to protect their dignity. I will track and tend the unit's mental attitude, telling the truth quickly. I will coach their development and celebrate their growth. I will protect and rest. I will train my body and fortify my mind so I can keep showing up every single day. And I will lead as a disciple of Christ because that authority that I'm given is spent for the good of others. When my Marines talk about me years from now, I don't want them to remember my rank. I don't want them to remember my skills, the bullet points, or anything like that. I want them to remember me as a leader who knew them and looked out for them. Somebody whose fitness gave them energy and motivation to keep going and whose faith was unwavering. And he did all these things because he generally cared about me. And I've got Marines that tell me to this day, and I'm very thankful for them. And I'm blessed to have been a part of such an awesome organization that helped develop me and helped me develop people, men and women alike, into fantastic Marines, human beings. I'm very proud of that. I take nothing else to the grave beyond being a husband and father and a disciple of Christ, is that I was able to help other people who may not have had a path prior to that. This principle sits kind of centered at the core of the ethos that I operate in, because missions are accomplished by the Marines, not by the individual leader. The Marines make it happen. Your team makes it happen in the corporate world. Marines are powered by trust, and trust grows where leadership and where leaders make welfare a verb. Daily, costly, and gladly do it every single day. So know your Marines and fight for their good every single day, because that's you owe that to them. All right. That's all I got for you guys this week. Know your Marines and look out for their welfare. That is huge. I hope you guys learned something this week. That's all I got. I hope you enjoyed. Please share this show. That's how we grow. Share the link right now to your friends. Check out Three Pillars Podcast website. Please leave a 5-star rating on Apple or Spotify. That's probably all I got. Let's end with a quick word of prayer, and then we'll kick you guys out for a great weekend. All right. Father God, we love you so much. Thank you for just being a model of leadership and helping us to be the best we possibly can be for those under our charge. Lord, I ask that you be with them this week. Anybody listening to this, anybody tuning in, give them peace, give them strength, help them to go forth into the world, even if they're a leader, or if they're a follower, or they're somewhere in between, to take care of those around them and help shepherd them, your fold, and bring them closer to you. Lord, use us this week, guide us and direct us, and just know that we are eternally thankful and we love you so much. In Jesus' name, amen. All right, guys, I'm Chase Tobin. This is the Three Pillars Podcast. Until next time, Tobinator.